Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Avatar The Last Airbender Season 3, Episode 8. I just watched the episode 7 this morning. If you want to see my reaction video about that, I'm gonna put the link into the eye. Whoa! Why? Really, why? I'm not singing well, and I don't think that I'm singing well. Just know it. I'm singing a lot, but I know that I'm not singing well. That's it. I'm beginning to talk too much. For those of you who are not there for the episode 7, I need to make these videos shorter than usually with my intro and review because it's Sunday morning and after that I have a family reunion and I have to pick up my grandparents, and you know how it is with your grandparents, you have to be right on time. So really organizing my Sunday morning, like I woke up really early this morning to film you these videos. That's it, shorter intros and reviews, no more. The last episode was great, it was an episode about Toph. I love the fact that we have an episode about Toph, like I loved the fact that we had an episode about Katara and Sokka. To remind to the viewers that there are main characters also that into this group, this team, not only Aang is important, they all have a role, a responsibility, something to do into this group. Group is working because of all of them, and they have also personal issues to deal with. And during the last episode we were with Toph and we talked about her issues with the authority, with her parents also, the fact that maybe she was feeling guilty about living like that, and the fact that she loves her parents no matter what, she doesn't hate them, not really, because even if they were not good with her, and she still thinks that, you know, the fact that they were not considering her for herself or what she really is, and she's still mad at them because of that, but she loves them, and at the end, the fact that she decided to write a letter to them, I really appreciated that. I didn't talk during the review of the last episode about what Sokka said. The fact that he said it knowing that Katara was gonna listen to that because it was a plan for him to make Toph talking about Katara so Katara could hear that, but at the same time he took that opportunity to talk about him and his feelings for Katara and how he's considering her. He's so clever and I love him so much, and the fact that he has this plan and he took that opportunity to talk to Katara, that was great. The things that he said, I had some little tears into my eyes. I didn't cry for good. I can watch one episode without crying, okay? I can do that. So I didn't cry for good, but I had some tears because of what he said about Katara, of course, the fact that he was considering her as a mom and he was so glad that she was there for him to take care of him and all. But the fact that he can't remember his real mother's face, and when he's thinking about his mom, he's thinking of Katara's face. Really, the fact that he can't remember his mom's face, I know that it's logical because of the fact that she disappeared when he was so young, but it's really making me sad for him. And it's also a good reminder of the fact that when their father disappeared, the only family that they had really disappeared with him, you know, when he left to fight the Fire Nation. You know, it's coming back to what Katara said to her father, the fact that she felt like he abandoned them. Yes, she felt like that because of the fact that their mother already was not there, so really their father was the only family, their grandmother, but you understand what I mean by that. He was their father, he disappeared. They had no mother at that moment, and we know now that Katara took the responsibility, you know, of being mother, you know, into this family. So when their father left, she also took the responsibility of the other parents, you know. She really took all of the responsibility of the parents on her shoulders. So we can understand even more why Katara felt abandoned like that. She felt abandoned by her father, but also she felt abandoned like she was all alone to take the responsibility of parents. You understand what I mean? What Sokka said during that moment, it gave us information about Sokka, what he thinks of Katara, about him, how he dealt with the situation and all, but also about Katara and how she dealt with the situation and why she was like that also with their father. All of that. I didn't talk about it during the review of the last episode, but I kept that for this intro because I know that I don't have a lot of time today. So yes, that was really great. That was really just a little thing into the last episode, but for a little thing, they are putting so many messages, you know, into little scenes, little informations, little moments into these shows that we can talk about entire minutes, hours, about just a sentence that one character said at a certain moment, you know. That's great, but for me, who loves to talk about things into shows that I love, it's really difficult, you know, sometimes to make a short resume, a short intro and review, especially when I don't have the time to do so. But also because of the fact that so many things are happening for the actions already into one episode, and if I have to consider really all of the things that they are saying to each other, all of the lines and all, it's already too much. During the last episode, we were only just with our guys. Does it mean that during this one we're gonna be back with Zuko and the other ones? It would be great, because like I said into the other intro, I really think that Zuko, you need to make a choice, my dear. You need to stop playing with my feelings. I still have hope for you, but I'm beginning to lose hope. You need to make a decision. You made one, you're not happy about it, it's not what you wanted, and still you're lost, you're mad at yourself. You learned something big, you know, during the flashback episode with Roku and the Fire Lord. You need to do something about it. You need to choose. And can you please tell to the guy who is following us, CB Man, to stop following us like that? Is really dangerous, and for now I really can't see a solution to fight him, to win against him. So can you do something about it, Zuko? Okay, I'm gonna stop this intro. Let's go for this episode 8. I didn't say it during the last episode. I have a Patreon on which I'm posting the reaction videos earlier, at least 1 week sooner, for Avatar: The Last Airbender. If it's not more, I don't know right now, check that on the description. And with extended reaction part or full reaction part for some episodes, for which, you know, I'm reacting a lot and all. Maybe I'm gonna do that for the flashback episode. I don't know, I didn't edit it, I will see that. Let's go for this one. Let's scream.
One winter, when Mom was a girl, a snowstorm buried the whole village. Mom realized she hadn't seen her friend Mimi since the storm.
Are we gonna see your mom?
When she was alone, she heard a voice. It's so cold, and I can't get warm. Mom ran outside for help, but when everyone came back, Mimi was gone.
Where'd she go?
No one knows. Wait!
You
guys,
did it
you
well,
hear that?
Katara.
I hear people under the mountain, and they're screaming. Now I'm getting scared.
Hello, children. My name is Hannah.
Hello, Anna. Is it an Halloween
Why
episode?
don't you come back there for some spiced tea and warm beds? People have been disappearing in those woods you were camping in.
And Captain's another delivery boy in the woods.
People disappearing in the woods? Weird stuff during full moon?
You're gonna see you in.
This is a mysterious little town you have Waterbender's Tower for mysterious children.
Sokka, what are you doing? You can't just snoop around someone's house.
Tough, she would have felt it, you know? If someone else would have been there. The music, really, we are into an Halloween episode.
Maybe there's a key.
Well done.
I'll tell you what's in the box. It's the last thing I owned from growing up in the Southern Water Tribe.
You're from the water tribe?
I wanted to surprise you. I bought all this food today so I could fix you a big Water Tribe dinner.
Oh, that's so great. She's a waterbender.
I was the last one. I was stolen from my home.
Stop.
It was over 60 years ago when the raid started. Each time rounding up more of our waterbenders and taking them captive. But our numbers dwindled as the raids continued.
And you were the last one.
Finally, I too was captured.
But they captured you to do what?
Terrible prisons here in the Fire Nation. I was the only one who managed to escape. How did you get away? It's too painful to talk about anymore.
We completely understand. It's an honor. You're a hero.
I never thought I'd meet another Southern waterbender. I'd like to teach you what I know.
Oh.
Yes! To learn about my heritage. It would mean everything to me.
I'm surprised by the change of tone of this episode.
Did you know you can even pour water out of thin air?
What?
You've got to keep an open mind, Katara. There's water in places you never think about.
Wow. These flowers are beautiful.
They
They're
are.
called fire lilies. They're one of my favorite things about living here.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know why. I immediately thought of can't see that. How beautiful they are. I made myself sad for no reason. Ooh, you took the water from the plants?
They're just flowers.
Ah,
I thought people have been disappearing around here during the full moon.
Oh, Katara. 2 master waterbenders beneath a full moon?
it's gonna make you stronger. Tell me that it's not because of you that people are disappearing. It would make me sad.
And why does everyone call me that? I'm not that old. Didn't see no spirit. Just felt something come over me, like I was possessed. Forced me to start walking toward the mountain, but I couldn't control my own limbs. It just about had me into a cave up there. But then the sun started to rise, and I got control of myself again.
Can you control people during the full moon? Because you know we are made of
I
water.
did hear people screaming under the mountain. The missing villagers must still be there.
Is she doing that? Punish, you know, the Fire Nation who did that to her and to all of the waterbenders?
This way.
I've never felt more alive.
We're saved.
It was no
Mm-hmm.
It was a witch.
Mm-hmm.
a witch. What do you mean? Dark puppet master.
Huh? Yes, the innkeeper.
The water
I
in
knew there was
you.
something creepy about her. What I'm about to show
Ooh, that
I
picture is
discovered that
beautiful.
wretched Fire Nation prison. They piped in dry air and had us suspended away from the ground.
But you managed to escape.
Each month I felt the full moon enriching me with its energy. Where there is life, there is water. And I passed years developing the skill that would lead to my escape.
Healing.
Bending.
Oh! I knew it before, but naming it blood bending,
I was ready.
it's even worse. Doing it on purpose, you're. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And during the next full moon, I walked free for the first time in decades. Once you perfect this technique, you can control anything or anyone.
I don't know if I want that kind of power.
Mm-hmm.
The choice is not yours. The power exists. Wipe us out our entire culture. Your mother. I
know.
Understand doesn't mean that she has to agree and to do the same than you.
With any means necessary.
No.
You, they threw me in prison to rot, along with my brothers and sisters. They deserve the same.
No.
I won't use bloodbending, and I
The
won't
Fire Lord
allow
gave these orders. These people, this village, they didn't do anything.
It's impossible to fight your way out of my grip. I control every muscle, every vein in your body.
She can break her bones, you know, by making her make a bad move or something like that really easily. Oh, Katara.
You're not the only one who draws power from the moon. Your technique is useless on me. Give up! You're outnumbered!
You've outnumbered yourselves.
What? No, 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 no!
Stop it, Ark! Stop it!
We're gonna be forced to kill her, right? I don't like the idea. With her story, with all of what she lived.
Don't let them hurt each other.
What?
You're going to be locked away forever.
My work is done.
I prefer that than to kill
Congratulations,
her.
Katara. You're a bloodbender.
Oh. I know that the fact that she just learned how to do that, it's gonna have its importance, but in my heart I really hope that she's never gonna do it again. I don't know. I'm sad. I'm just sad, you know. Of course I'm sad for Katara, and I just said it. Even if she just learned... I can't say it, I'm sorry. Bloodbending. That's awful, the name of it, the power of that name, you know, that word. It's awful. She learned that, so I know that it's gonna have its importance. She's gonna do it again, it's gonna be useful at some point. This episode was in fact about that, which is important, you know, and interesting, because at first I thought that an Halloween episode right now into the story, into the final season and all, I was like, okay, we made episodes for characters that can be useful for the characters, the developments and all, and even if we didn't progress a lot into the story, still we add some information, so it's okay. But an Halloween episode, an episode which is not related to the stories or to the development of the characters, I was not seeing it, you know, I was like, why? And then it changed, you know, the mood of it changed when we learned who was that lady, the fact that she was a southern waterbender and all, what happened, you know, during the raids, the fact that the Fire Nation took the waterbenders like that and all. At the end, we are learning blood bending and all, so it's giving to this Halloween episode an importance and real big informations that for sure we're gonna use in the future, that are gonna be important in the future. For having an episode like that right now into the story and into the final season, I know that blood bending is gonna be important because of that, you know, because of the fact that we have an episode like that. But I don't want Katara to use it. It's awful, you know, when you think about it. It's different, you know, to take water from the plants and things around you, because these things, this nature, they can come back, you know, they can relive. We know that about nature. That's one of the beautiful things about nature, the fact that even after a fire, you know, which is destroying everything, trees can come back and all. So that's why when it happened, when she learned how to do that, I was like, oh, that's great, because I was already thinking of that. But animals, people, humans, can't come back. So it's really awful to do that. Because I really think that it's not just about controlling the body of someone else, you can do that for sure, but the fact that you can control someone like that, you can make that people also do something to hurt him or herself, or to hurt someone else, to kill someone else, or to kill him or herself, or just, you know, by making him or her do a certain move, you can break a bone, you can kill that person. That's awful. So that's why it made me sad for Katara, but also for that lady. I'm sorry, that's the power of this show, you know, and that's how good these writers are. So that, you know, with the flashback episode with Roku and the Fire Lord, the fact that in just one episode I was already involved into their story and I was feeling sad for them, for their friendship and all. And right there with that lady, we just met her and had this little flashback, and I'm already involved into her story, and I understand her reasons, I see her reasons, I see why she did that, why she wanted to do that, you know, to punish the people who hurt her, but also who hurt all of the other waterbenders who did that to her tribe. And that's why she stayed right there, to continue to punish them, to have her revenge. Everything that she did was bad, you know. I'm not saying that she was right to do that and all, but I can understand her reasons. So if I can understand her reasons, I can't be fully against her, you know. I can't hate her. I hate what she did, but her reasons were logical and understandable. And I'm sad for her. I'm sad that she lived all of that. She was the last waterbender. She had to switch and to turn into someone like that. She could have had a different life. She could have had a beautiful life, maybe in her tribe, an happy life, an happy family and all. And she never had that, and she was forced to switch and to turn into that person, to learn how to use, you know, to do blood bending. I mean, she was not supposed to learn that, to do that, but by the force of things, she learned it and she turned into that. And using blood bending with reasons that you think which are right, and you have a revenge situation into that, and that's over. She could never come back, because her revenge could never stop right there. She would have never stopped to do that to these people, to this village. She had no reason to stop. So that's why also at the end I'm glad that they arrested her, but they didn't kill her. It made me sad, this episode. The tone, you know, of the beginning of the episode, with these Halloween stories and all, that was fun. But again, at the beginning I was like, guys, we are losing time, it's episode 8, we don't have a lot of episodes and we have so many things to resolve. Do we really have the time to do an Halloween episode like that? Like during season 1, when we were spending one episode about one thing, you know, which was not really useful for the development of the characters and for the story. It was just a little adventure journey like that for only one episode. I thought that it was gonna be the same, and inside of me, you know, I was like, guys, we're losing time. And at the end, you know, this lady, her story, this flashback, it's learning us stuff about really all of the past stuff that the Fire Nation did. It's giving us also one information that we can use for the future: blood bending. But again, inside of me, I want Katara to never use it again. at least to not kill people, or maybe she can use it at the extreme limit when she's not gonna have any other solution to control the body of someone, of an enemy. But please not to kill people. Okay, we'll see, and I'm gonna see that on another day because I need to finish this reaction video, because I need to go to pick up my grandparents and then to go to a family reunion. Really, it's early on Sunday morning. I didn't rest a lot this weekend. I had a lot of stuff to do in my personal life, but also to film videos, so I'll be sure that you're gonna have the videos. I'm gonna have also these videos so I can edit, you know, during the week and all. I think that for this one I'm gonna put the extended reaction part on my Patreon. Thank you a lot. I saw that you were more to subscribe to my Patreon, and thank you a lot for that. I hope that you are enjoying, you know, to have the episodes earlier, 1 week sooner, maybe sometimes more, and with an extended or full reaction part. And I hope that, yes, you are enjoying that a lot. And I know that sometimes some of you are just subscribing for 1 month, and it's already great, and it's also a way for you to support me, and I'm really taking it like that. I really appreciate it, and I think that I didn't say it in another video, so I'm saying it again right now when I don't have the time normally to talk. Okay, so it's all for me and for you for today, so it's all for me for now, so bye for now, bye! Let's go, I need to hurry now!
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Hey.